Welcome to the JAMODI podcast, where we interview coaches and leaders to find out not just what they do, but how they do what they do. Becoming the best version of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. How did individual skill work into your daily practice?
It was almost all individual skill. That's what we do. Like it's all individual skill. We'll usually take 20 minutes at the end of our practice to do something team wise, and then everything leading up to that is individual. And it might be like the objective is to learn how to play without recognizing you're being defended. You like so everything that we do skeleton wise, everything it's straight imagination. You if you go low and you go hard in a direction, over time no one's going to stop you. If you could continually do that, if you'll go low and hard every single time you're asked to dribble penetrate, over time you will succeed, because another team will get in foul trouble, in which case they're going to become a little bit self-conscious about how hard they should guard. Then you're going to get in foul trouble, and you're going to bring in their backup, who's not as good defensively. You're going to add fatigue to the mix. And so if you tried to do that against competition all the time, you'd have injuries. Okay, so we try to do much of it with imagination as individuals. Okay, so that you're not going to get hurt. You learn how to go hard. Okay, and like there'll be stations where the point guards will be coming from 3/4 court. They'll be allowed 3 dribbles from 3/4 court to finish. And then while they're doing that, you've got the slip cutters over on one basket, working on their slip cuts and how they're going to finish around the rim. At the far end, you might have your shooters working on the fade and curl cuts to catch and release. And it's just you might have, we do have a couple of low post player positions, like for the odd time that we might want to use it. Okay, and to continue to develop some of the big men that come in the program, and so it's all individual. Everything is individual until those final 20 minutes. Then you add that we're taking. Well, we start off the practice by taking 100 threes. That takes 17 minutes, and you add that we only practice for an hour and 15 minutes. Like it's not a whole lot of time they're working individually, but it's most of the practice.
Yeah, 80% of practice. Did you find that over the years, even though you're playing at such a chaotic pace, and I mean, you 3 or 4 or 5 teams of 5 rotating through every 45 seconds or so, but it's still a long season. Did you find that only going an hour 15 and a lot of it being where you're not banging against each other, but it's skill work, did you find that your team stayed fresher throughout the year than maybe other teams did?
Without question. That's one thing my son is not doing as much. Like part of it is because I think he had like 32 guys on his roster last year. We kind of have no cut policy here.
That's extreme.
It's hard. Like
running two extremes right there.
It's hard. He wasn't able to get his top guys the number of reps they needed if he was going to allow everybody to get equal reps. That made it a little difficult. I think he's actually struggling on how to move forward with that. But I never dealt with more than 22 kids. So
can you just tell us some of the just amazing single game feats that you guys accomplished over the years?
Gosh, Jack Taylor will start.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a great game the night he scored 138. But
that's a crazy statement.
he had a 4 minute and 27 second span that was unlike anything I've ever seen. It was pretty late in the game. he was dead tired. He could barely get his arms above his head because he shot so much. And he made threes on 7 consecutive possessions versus triple teams. I mean, triple team,
because they knew what
they
was
knew what we
happening.
were doing. And one time he was triple teamed. He passed it off to somebody that was supposed to take a layup, and he was next to the basket. He said no, and he kicked it right back out to him. He was not given an inch. He was going to, nope, you got to shoot the basketball, Jack. So he made 7 straight threes in that 4-minute 27, and it was hilarious because the other team still at that point in the game, their strategy was to back screen our safety and throw the ball deep. Okay, so they were getting layups. We didn't care. They were getting layups, so we're getting the ball back sooner.
Get the ball back quicker. Yep.
He would have to work. He would have to work 10, 15, 18 seconds to get a shot off.
Wow.
Because there was 3 people on him. I mean, he just
the effort that it takes to do that.
And he made 7 in a row. And it was just, and with each one, he made the first 3 and 4th one. It wasn't a huge crowd, but they were going crazy. And then towards the end of it, it really died off. It got a little quiet. I said, "What's going on? What's going on here?" Our people aren't going nuts. Our bench was going nuts, but everybody in the stands had their cell phones out. Everybody was recording it. It was just hilarious, they couldn't share and record at the same time. It was the most breathtaking thing I've ever seen.
That's beautiful.
The game ends. It's 2 days before Thanksgiving. We're now on Thanksgiving break. Jack goes, "Oh, Coach, I'm gonna probably be heading out like early in the morning, but Jack, I'm sorry, man. You're not going anywhere. You have no idea what's about to happen. You are about to be besieged by
ESPN." Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you better call your mom. She wants Thanksgiving. She's having it in Grinnell.
You had so you talk about 22 guys on the roster. There was some amount of how many different guys made a 3 in a game one time, wasn't it?
That was the year we had 20 on our roster.
Okay.
And the goal was for everybody on the team to make one. And the usual suspects made theirs early and weren't all that pleased probably about screening for the rest of the game and deferring for the rest of the game. But I think we ended up with about 13 or 14 at the half, so that was good. And then in the second half, when we get down to a couple of the lesser shooters, it wasn't real easy. Well, we got it down to one player. We had 19 make one, and we had one player, a kid. I love the kid. His name was Tyler Broats, and he made one shot on his 8th time, and it got waved off with an illegal screen. And I gave the referee so much crap that night. The next time he worked, and for the next 15 years that he worked our league, I gave him crap for calling that illegal screen. It became a joke between us. And he ended up 0 for 8 from the arc.
And so he finished with 19?
He would have been the 20th.
Yeah.
So we ended up with 19. Poor Tyler, after that year, I don't think it was related, but he transferred after the end of the year. So people never
let him forget it.
He was still in touch with a lot of the teammates because he was a really nice kid, but he didn't come back to Grinnell. We could, I thought about one time seeing if we could take and have every one of our shots taken from the arc.
Never shoot it 2.
Yeah. I thought, but I'm convinced that somebody would have stepped on the line.
Not the defense would have done something to stop it.
No,
your own players.
Somebody would have stepped on, and it would have just infuriated
and
me.
then they would have transferred the next year because they shot it 2. Oh, that would have been a very a cool goal. I mean, just what a unique experience for players. I mean, my experience was I grinded every single game
Oh,
to
God.
get measly minutes and average 4.5 points a game. And but the stories that your players must have and be able to share, incredible.
Steve Wood, 1994. No, sorry, 2004.
Yeah.
2004. Wrong century. But we're playing home against Monmouth. He needs, I'm not sure exactly what the total number of points were to set the school scoring record. But I do know that we're on the road for the next 2 games. And so we're making it, Steve, if it's close, we'd kind of like you to do it. Well, with 10 minutes to go, he needs 26 points. And we have a timeout called, that we're playing Monmouth, and we're beating them pretty handily. I said, Steve, you like in front of the group, it's up to you. Like, I know the game's getting a little out of hand here, and I don't want to put you in an embarrassing situation. I said, but you need 26 points to get the school scoring record. Do you want to do it here? He goes, yeah, all right. 10 minutes, pops it off, just bucket after bucket after bucket. With 2 minutes to go, he sets the school scoring record. The announcer has it in front of the crowd. Everybody goes crazy, and I get to replace him. Like, he did it in 8 minutes. He did it in 8 minutes. The guy's, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
What a moment.
There's I would have loved to we're going to do a speed round here at the end. When one of the questions is, if you could travel back in time to a period, where would you go? I got it on my list, would probably be to one of those games, Jack Taylor's, the game where everybody but one, or that game, like, to be in that place with that experience, because that's it. That's what it was. Is an experience.
Well, I'd go back to the day we won our first championship. Like, we played the semifinal game, just barely beat Carroll, and we were going 2 groups, basically 2 groups of 5 at that point in time. That was 1996, and I said to Ed Brands, I said, Ed, I know you're in shape and you can handle more than 1 out of 2. Can we lean on you a little bit for some minutes in this one? And he said, sure. So we played him. He only sat out 1 out of every 4.
Mm-hmm.
In the championship game against Ripon College, who was 21-1 at the time, and ranked, I think, number 6 in the country. In the championship game, I'd say 2/3 of it versus a box and 1.
Oh.
He went 14 for 22 from 3-point line and scored 60 points. And we beat them 114 to 92. And he opened the game with 4 straight threes, like on his first 4 shots. And it was the most magical thing I've ever seen. It was still, all credit to Jack for what he did. It was the single best performance I've ever seen. Because it was against elite competition, and we had no business beating that team. None. But it was incredible.
Yeah.
14 for 22 from 3. Oof.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.